Hey friends, welcome to The Book Was Hotter, presented by Avon Books.
On this episode, we're going to talk all about good spirits, and we have a very special guest. Should we come down?
Mm-hmm. 3,
Three,
2, 1.
one.
BK Borison! Yay!
BK, welcome! I'm so excited to talk all about good spirits.
I was not prepared for the enthusiasm, but I love it. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Indeed. First of all, I just want to say you are the queen of Yearning. Thank you so much for all your characters that, truly, have inspired me to never settle for anything less than a man who's obsessed with me and will knit for me.
That's what you deserve. You
Yeah.
deserve knitted mittens.
Yeah.
Yeah, knit mitts.
There you
That's
go.
what I want for you.
Well, to start the podcast, I want to hear all about your reading lore. What started you into reading?
Probably fan fiction.
That is so real.
No, let's go back further to the Pizza Hut reading challenge as a young child, where you could, you would get the stamps. If you read a book, you would get a stamp. Am I that much older than you two?
No, I heard about this. I'm
Oh
not
my
American.
God, she heard about it, but she never experienced
Oh no,
it.
it's because I'm not American. So I was in Mexico and we packed Pizza
Was
Hut
it gone by
the
the time you were a child?
I hate to say I've never heard of this before, but bring it back. I'll do
Okay.
it right now.
I'm going to explain it. Pizza Hut had a thing through the schools where if you completed a book through the library, you would get a stamp. And if you got enough stamps, you get a free personal pan pizza. And my mom needed to feed us for free, so we would read lots of books for the pan pizzas. I can't believe I'm still dealing with the fact that you don't know
Sorry,
what this
maybe
is.
this sounds familiar now. It's maybe uncovering some layered memories.
You're walking it all the way back here.
Yeah, no, I'm getting Pizza Hut flashbacks in
Pizza Hut.
school, I think.
So the Pizza Hut reading program probably made me a reader. And then as I grew up and evolved my reading, I read a lot of fantasy as a kid, and then went down the fan fiction wormhole for 5 to 10 years. And here I am.
We have Pizza Hut to thank for so many things.
Sponsored by
I'm
this podcast is now sponsored by Pizza Hut.
all
I
right,
think you should
thank
go to Pizza Hut right after.
I think so.
I think so.
I want to know what fan fiction.
I won't say.
Okay.
That's my hard. It's my hard line. I won't say. If people guess it, I'm always like, sure. It was funny last night. I did an event in Philadelphia, and this girl came up to the table and she got really close and she whispered my Tumblr handle name from when I was in fandom, and I was like, oh my God, she knows my truth.
That's kind of scary.
A little
It's like
bit.
the
It was
FBI,
in
are
a
your
cute way.
fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cute whisper, not menacing whisper.
Threatening whisper. I know your Tumblr handle.
She just whispered the name.
Wow.
Can-
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
want to guess?
Me,
I wanna-
it's too
I
much
wanna
pressure
guess.
from you. You guys.
Supernatural?
No,
All right.
I did like Supernatural though, but
Yeah,
not that
okay,
kind of
because it's one of the most popular ones.
Wait, are
yeah.
you a Dean or Sam girl?
teen.
Dean? Okay.
The right answer.
I'm a Sam girl and I've never met another Sam girl, so I'm I've always got to ask.
You're holding on to that ship,
I'm holding on so hard.
captaining that ship.
Clinging on with
Boldly,
for dear
bravely.
life.
Alone in that ship.
Alone.
Yeah,
by yourself.
I'm alone on that ship, which is totally okay. Maybe next time you're here,
We'll keep guessing.
We'll earn your trust.
Research.
Yes.
Pull a list together.
Yeah.
We'll go over it.
Girl, DM us. You know her Tumblr
I was
handle.
about to say.
Don't. DM them. No one reveal my truth.
Yeah, we'll be ready next time. But I wanted to ask a similar question: is what's your writing lore? We know what got you started with reading, but what about writing?
Pizza Hut and fanfiction.
Okay, same answer.
No, probably I've always enjoyed creative writing. Having it publishing professionally has never felt like something that was attainable. And then during COVID, my husband works in medicine and we were living in a surge area, so he was gone all the time. We had just had a baby. And so I was like, I'm going to try and write a book just for something to do for myself. That's when I wrote Love Light. And I wrote it, no plans. I was like, I'm going to write it and then query it and get an agent and then publish it. I was like, I'm just going to write it and then see what happens. And I chose to self-publish it. No expectations, worst cover in the entire universe that I did.
No,
it was
really
bad.
cute.
Well, we redid it
I
later.
know.
Okay.
We have it right there.
Oh, there they are.
Well, that's a new cover, but I
I
They're there.
didn't. You must have snuck
Yeah,
that.
but
there.
you
It's
have
so
it,
sneaky.
it still has the soul of the original.
Yeah,
It
the soul
does.
is there, but skill is also now present and color. But yeah, I put it up, and then it sort of did its thing, and now here we are.
And
What
now-
book is this? 6? Book
Yeah.
6.
Wow.
Was it like that you were missing Christmas? Because it's a Christmas inspired book and it's like set in like a
Yeah.
tree farm, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
probably. Now you're like, whoa,
yeah, you were like
that's it.
holding on to like good times. So it's like, let me reminisce
Mhm.
about.
Yeah, we were so isolated during COVID.
Yeah.
We were living in California, and my family was all in Maryland. So I was away from seasons and tree farms and my
Yeah.
family.
and
stuck
you
in a-
truly like created like a found family
Yeah,
situation there, like
yeah.
a really strong,
Mhm.
you know.
I love the idea of like people choosing their own people. I think that's really magical in its own way. So yeah, I always try to incorporate an aspect of found family in my
Wow.
books.
So we don't know what you read fan fiction about.
And you
I wanna
never
will. Try me. Just give me 10 minutes after this.
I want to know what you are watching, reading, and listening right now that you're on tour. What's keeping you alive?
Oh, water. Chloe Lease. It kept me physically alive yesterday. What I'm watching a lot of old Christmas movies because it feels like now is the time.
Mhm.
I usually Christmas stuff starts in my house October 1st. If you talk to my husband, it's November 1st, but like it's October 1st.
Who's the real boss here?
So I've been watching. What did I watch on the plane? Not on the plane. On the train yesterday, I was watching White Christmas. And then what I'm listening to a lot of Maggie Rogers.
Yes.
Love her. And then I just read Starship by Kat Sebastian. Everyone is so
Ooh.
tired of me talking about this book.
No.
But it's like imprinted on my cerebral cortex, whatever is up there.
You and DJ have the same brain.
Oh
'cause,
my God,
like,
yeah.
I think he just
Well,
finished
DJ
it.
gave me that book, I think, because he knew that I would just tumble into total infatuation. But yeah, I read it once and I was like, I tried to read a different book and I was like, no, I'll just read this again. So that's where we are.
Speaking of total infatuation, we're totally infatuated with Good Spirits, and I'm wondering if you can pitch it to us as if you're pitching it to your best friend.
My best friend is a deranged individual. So the way I would pitch it to her, I'm thinking of one specific scene that I would pitch it by, and I can't say that out loud.
You can say it.
No.
Yeah, you can.
No, because I'm going to try and get into the specifics of it, and it's going to get weird real fast. I would pitch it as beloved Dickens characters who are slightly horny and traumatized. No, we're not doing that. We're going to
Yes,
move
yeah,
that
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay, so the Ghost of Christmas Past works for the Department of Hauntings and Spirits, and he's given an assignment, Harriet, and so he appears to haunt her into changing her ways, but her ways are pretty good. She's a nice lady, and so when he shows up in her house, he's like, "I'm here to fix you," and she's like, "1, who are you? Why are you in my house?
What?
2, you're super hot, so it's kind of okay. And 3, I think I'm a good person, so don't know what's happening here." And shenanigans ensue
Yeah.
from there.
I love when they had the conversation early on that it's like, you thought I was a fantasy. Like, it's like, am I your dream man? And she's like, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so what?
And
What about it?
And what about it? I think so many people have connected with Harriet and Nolan in so many ways because, like, I'm a people pleaser. You're like, I feel like we have talked about our people pleasing tendencies and like, you know, Nolan waited so long seeing the worst of humanity. Like, I want to know like the inspiration behind them. Like, who came to you first? Like, what's
Yeah.
one harder than the other?
I think they both were very simultaneous, the way that they came forward. I love the concept for Nolan. I love the idea of taking this Ghost of Christmas Past, who moves on to the afterlife expecting peace and rest. But then he's given a job in this weirdly bureaucratic afterlife. And so he's a little jaded by that because he thought he would get, eternity and cake and,
Yeah.
rest. But then he's given this job, and then his job is to see the very worst in people. And I enjoyed exploring the concept of like, what would it feel like for him to like for all of his life or afterlife to just see very bad people. And so when he meets Harriet, he's obviously just like, he's like, he doesn't trust or believe that she is who she says she is. And I enjoyed that journey for him of like learning to trust that there is still goodness. And it can be someone's strength as opposed to a weakness or something to change or fix. And Harriet was probably, whenever I start writing a book, it's funny, I'm always like, I know who the characters are in a general sense, but when I started writing Harriet, I was like, oh, some things to talk to my therapist about. She's a people pleaser. She cares a lot about what the people around her think of her, and she's just trying not to be a disappointment to other people. So for Harriet, it was a joy to sort of explore her softness as a strength, and really have her lean into that and stand up for herself. We went all over with that answer. That was a journey.
No, that was beautiful, because I'm like, I'm going to take this book to therapy because, yeah, I just resonated with it so much as a people pleaser who's trying to not be a people pleaser. Yeah. And I don't know the last time I read a book that I related to the main character so much to the point where it was like, it made me feel a little vulnerable in ways that I was like, yeah, it just made me connect with her so much. And I was wondering, do you identify as a people pleaser? Because I feel like only a people pleaser could have written her as a character.
Very much so. I told my husband the other day, I'm like, I'm a recovering people pleaser. He's like, no, you are a people pleaser. Yeah, I think a lot of young women especially sort of fall naturally into the people pleaser role, because I think society tells us that we should shape ourselves to be what other people want us to be. And so I knew from the very beginning of writing Harriet that I wanted her to be soft and gentle. And I think always, too, when you are that way, people are always like, you got to toughen up. If you want to make it, you got to toughen up and be stronger. And so I knew I wanted Harriet to be soft and to remain soft at the end. Like, I wanted her to realize this is the way I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that was her little journey.
I love that, and thank you for writing her. Oh, my goodness.
I want to talk more about the spirit department that you created. That is very bureaucracy. First of all, I want to know more about Isabel. Like, can you tease, like, where are we?
About what? Sorry.
Like the boss, Isabel, right? Like,
oh, yes. So Isabella is the, I'm trying to think of what's her formal title within the department. She oversees the holiday spirits, and she's Nolan's boss in the Department of Hauntings and Spirits. And she makes Nolan's grumpiness look like a kitty cat. She's super grumpy.
Yes, and that's why I love her.
I think when we meet her, she's wearing like the flashing antler headbands.
Yeah,
they're
but
just like
so angry.
Yeah,
like.
and it's just like red, and she's just like, she's very unhappy with Nolan showing up in her office. And her story's fun. We only get a tease of Isabella in this book, but we learn that she's been head of multiple department offices within the Department of Hauntings and Spirits. She's moved around quite a bit. And yeah, that's all I can say about that.
She won my heart, and I was like, I want to see more. Yeah, I want to see more.
We'll see more from her.
I also want to know what would be your department. Like, where would you work on?
I'd manage the Office of Grudges, probably, or passive aggressiveness. No, I don't. Someone last night at the event asked about, is there an office of soulmates? Oh. And I was like, there's not, but now there might be.
New office just opened up.
Yeah, just opened its doors. I like that idea. When I was kicking around this original concept, we were talking to, and I think it's in the book, the Department of Deja Vu. And I think that has some interesting possibilities too.
Ooh.
So more on the world building of you building this, what was the research process like for the world building, for the characters, for the setting? I'd love to know anything you can share.
So I feel like a lot of this book was like borrowing concepts and ideas from other literary worlds. Like obviously The Ghost of Christmas Past is from Dickens, but when I was creating the department itself, I was trying to think of like all these different stories we hear about the afterlife, and like trying to take different concepts. Like when Nolan goes to see his boss at the department, There's a yew tree, which is in Greek mythology represents death. And so I was trying to like weave together all these different mythologies on death and what's there. And it was really fun to see like all the threads that are similar between all these different cultures and interpretations of the afterlife, and then have them show up in a really like whimsical way and like a vending machine in the hallway at the Department of Hauntings and Spirits. So it was really fun to play with those different ideas. Book 2 in this series, I would say, is a lot more departmental focused instead of like our world focused. And so it was really fun to expand the world even bigger.
Ooh, I wonder.
I'm so
if
excited
you
we
could-
got a crumb. I'm like
I'm gonna ask for more than a
Okay,
crumb.
okay.
Actually, can you tell us more about the second book? What can you tease?
So book 2, and we learn in Good Spirits that there is a Grim Reaper on the loose. Book 2 will be following Our Lady Reaper, who is on the run. I'm trying to think what I can say. She's a she. She's a Lady Reaper.
Ooh.
love a Lady Reaper.
Can we know the he?
He is a he.
All right.
I don't want to say who he is because I think that's a really fun surprise. We find out quickly. He is all. I'm not gonna say it.
It's okay.
I'm not. You want me to say it, but
I
I'm not
want you
gonna
to
say
say
it. He is someone who currently exists in the town in Annapolis where this book
Have
takes
we
place.
met him?
We have not met him.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. I can work with
But
that.
he's there
He's there.
somewhere in town, waiting for
A Lady Reaper?
a Lady Reaper to
All
come
right.
blowing into his life.
I'm so ready.
Again, like I feel like you are the queen of yearning. Like all your men yearn and pine so much. But I want to know, who are your favorite yearning men?
I think historical romance is such an incredible job of yearning. It is the foundation of yearning.
Yes.
I'm trying to. My brain is literally like a sandpit in examples. I will say Chloe Leese writes a really good yearning man.
Yeah.
Jamie Westenberg is one of my favorite yearning men of all time. And then Tessa Bailey's yearning men. She just writes them different.
Oh, yeah.
She
we
writes
love
them
her.
like disgustingly like desperate for their women.
Hot.
Yeah, we love a sick man on his knees.
We love sick men.
Quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tessa Bailey, for all you have done for yearning.
No, but I agree. Like historical fiction brings so much like yearning into the plate because, like, first of all, if they're in a room together, they have to marry.
Yeah.
Like they're like the tension
looked
of
at
like
each
you're
other,
ruined
yeah,
forever,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So yeah, I'm a big fan of historical fiction as well. That is like, you know, the Tessa Dare,
Oh yeah, Sarah McLean,
Lisa Kleypas.
of course.
Yeah, so good to know that that's where you went to the school of yearning.
Of
The
course.
School of Yearning.
Yearning and pining.
Yearning 101.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what was the most surprising thing to you while writing this book? Like, was there anything that surprised you?
That's a good question. I think it was the first time I've written magical realism. And so I was like dipping my toes into the fantasy-ish. I don't think it's like sort of paranormal magic water. Like, I don't know what words I'm saying right now. But it was the first time I wrote anything with magic. So it was fun getting to explore that element of writing. And sometimes when you write a contemporary, you feel really penned in with the rules of because you have to obey the rules of the world. So it was really fun for me to sort of stretch creatively and get to define what the rules were. But yeah, it was different. Like my process was different writing this book than other books I've written, and that was new with magic.
Because I read on the author's note that this book has been on your mind for a very long time.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to play with the idea of the ghost of Christmas past. I think I wrote about him in Love Light Farms, the very first book I wrote, and it's sort of this concept kept floating up in all of the books I've written. So I was like, okay. And I remember pitching it to my agent at lunch. We were here in New York, and we had just finished Love Light, and she was like, "What do you want to write next?" And I was like, "Well, I have this idea about the ghost of Christmas past," and she was like, okay. And then I was like, well, he's a hot Irish fisherman. And she's like,
Okay,
okay,
we can
sold.
work with this.
So yeah, it was exciting but it was also intimidating, right? Because I had this idea for such a long time, and then I started writing it, and you want so badly to get it right. But it was fun for me to write, for sure.
Yeah. No, and again, like I love that there's different, Ghosts of Christmas Past, so it's not like
Yeah.
one and the same. And again, like my lesson from this book truly was like that I don't need to go anywhere to find a man. Like he will just appear.
He will appear next to your Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So true.
So that's gonna be our gift for the Christmas season.
Yeah, I'm just imagining you by your tree with your peppermint tea,
You're
just
like,
waiting
"I'm ready."
for where's Nolan.
And again, and this one, your writing routine was very different because you were expecting your son.
I was, yeah. I
Um,
was very pregnant.
You know.
Yeah, he was kicking around in there. And it was funny. I was physically getting bigger and more uncomfortable and working on this book. And it's now I can see how like carrying my son while I was writing this book has impacted the book. And like when I read this story, it's special for me to associate with that time. And I remember the day I finished it, I wrote the last sentence, I sent it off to my editor. I went upstairs to take a nap because I was so tired, just being 8 months pregnant. And then I woke up and I was like, oh no. And I went into labor that day. Yeah.
What?
And he was 2 weeks early. And Shannon, my editor, didn't even know I was pregnant. So we had our editorial call to go over notes in the book, and I was like, okay, well, I just had a baby. So she was like, what? You had a baby? So yeah, he decided that when the book, I think he was just waiting for me to get the first draft done, and then he was here. And it's wild because I was pregnant when I wrote it, and now he's walking around.
Wow.
He's yapping. He's not making any sense, but he's yapping.
You deliver in two ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, exactly. I was about to say.
Yeah.
They have the
For
same
sure.
birthday.
Yeah. But I want to know what your writing routine looks like now. Like
Chaos. I have 2 small kids, so I write really when I can. I have a beautiful office I rarely use. But when I write something that feels I try to write atmospherically. And so I watch a lot of YouTube videos of the location of where, those really great, like, scenic music, like coffee shop in the autumn.
Yeah.
Big fan of those. And then I usually try to write in as big of a block as I can, and I try to get through a specific scene or write towards a scene. I write chronologically. I can't bounce
Wow.
around. And if I get stuck like on a chapter and I'm not writing forward, then it's usually because something needs fixing. And so I go back and then I fix it and then we move forward. But I write in order. Yeah, I think that's it. Lots of coffee, lots of crying, lots of staring out the window blankly until something comes to me.
And boy, does it does.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the like atmospheric YouTube videos because I literally put one on to read this book
It's perfect.
it
pairing.
was you're in like autumnal library and it's like winter outside and I was like that hits the spot perfectly for this book, so I received it on the other end of reading it.
It bled through.
Yes, I got your signal, don't worry. I wanted to ask, what advice do you have for aspiring writers?
I think the thing I always say to people who want to write a book is write a book that you want to read and write a book that you want to write. Because if you're trying to write a book that you're like, I want this book to go viral, or I want this book to get bought, or I want this to go to this publishing house, then you're not going to enjoy the process. It's going to be a shopping list that you're just checking marks off of. So I always tell people to write the book that they want to read, or write the book that they want to experience and be so fully immersed in for a long time.
Yeah. Well, as a fan fiction reader, you probably are very familiar with tropes.
Oh, yes.
So I wonder, what are your 3 favorite tropes, and what is a trope that you want to like maybe explore in the future? And you can go as unhinged as possible, because we know that fan fiction gets unhinged.
Oh, fanfic gets very unhinged. I'm not Allie Hazelwood unhinged fan fiction tropes. But this is both. I love Brother's Best Friend.
Yes.
And I would
Ooh.
love to do, I feel like I sort of touched on that with business casual.
Yeah.
But I would love to really dig into like a juicy, angsty
Ooh.
brother's best friend, forbidden romance type thing.
Ooh.
Maybe one day. And then other two tropes that I love, fated mates.
Yes.
And something so beautiful about that concept.
And in so many ways, you know, like it could be like soulmates or werewolf and omega bird.
Yeah, I love omega birds.
Yes, it has
Possibilities are
range.
endless.
Yeah. I love this idea that like even if you're lonely and even if you're sad, you're moving towards the person you're supposed to be with. Like that's a beautiful thing. And there's threads that connect you to that person. I just really love that. I try to incorporate a little bit of that into everything I write. I'm trying to think of a juicy third trope that's slightly unhinged.
Go crazy. There has been one really popular on TikTok that is like cum in his pants.
That is a popular one. Dry humping. Yes.
Yeah, dry humping. Yeah. We
All
can
right,
cut it.
the next.
No, we're gonna leave
I'm
that dry
obsessed.
humping.
So dry humping is your third
Dry
one?
humping will
She's
be
just
my
giving
third.
you ideas. For
Yeah,
the
I was
next
just giving
book,
you
so-
Yeah, give me a
ideas.
list and
Yes.
I will check it off.
It sounds like you're ready for the next. I'm ready for the next one. I loved all those together. So,
Dry humping, brother's best friend, fated mates. Okay, I know what to do now.
all right, done.
Done. Next.
I wanted to ask, what are 3 books that you always recommend?
Starship by Kat Sebastian.
Oh, all right, good one.
No, but seriously, that is like one of my top 3 romances.
Wait,
Ever.
so I'm not familiar with the plot. It was just DJ shopping it. DJ's my boss, by the way, and my friend.
But more
does
importantly,
both.
your
You
boss.
had- I'm really my boss. But he just like shoved it in my face and was like, "You'll like it." And so, can you pitch
Yes,
it?
let me talk about this for the next 45 minutes. Starship is the story of 2, I wouldn't say feuding, but actors that don't like each other that much. They work together on like a cult favorite TV show. And one of the actors is deciding to leave the TV show. And the very golden retriever and black cat. And the way they interact, I'm like literally walking away from the pitching it now, but like the way they interact with each other is so delicious. So they work together on a TV show. They're polar opposites. And then when the one decides he's going to leave the show, the other is like, but why are you leaving? And they argue and hate each other, but they also know like, I hate you and I hate how you order a medium coffee with 2 sugars and 1 cream and at this temperature and it's exactly how you like it. Like it's the kind of hate where you know every single thing about that other person and it so easily tips the other direction and it's a lovely book. I think what I love most about it is fandom was so important to me growing up and cult TV shows. Sometimes when a book is set in that world, it can be sort of like, haha, look at these silly idiots loving their TV show, but Kat Sebastian really makes it feel the way fandom feels, which is so lovely. Its own found family within fandom, and she just so lovingly creates a world that feels safe, and it's a beautiful book. Highly recommend it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna drop everything and read it.
Yeah,
after.
you're going to. I'm gonna follow you back to your desk and make
If
sure
you
you
like start reading now.
Yeah.
What are other 2? What
Other
for
2
you?
books that I always recommend for romance, Jessica Joyce, You with a View.
Yes.
I think Jessica is talk about yearning. Like I think she's one of the best voices in romance right now. And then I always recommend, I'm trying to think, Nikki Payne as an entity.
Yes.
She's brilliant. I love her brain. I love what she does with her brain. But the way she writes is so quick and sharp and funny. She really truly writes true rom-coms that have like the weight of the romance but the levity of the comedy, and she weaves them together so beautifully.
Wow. Okay, I have my
All right.
TBR.
You have a list. You have homework.
I would love to know, first of all, what are you working on next? And then can you tell us a teaser of like, and now back to you?
I have to think of what is appropriate. Right now I'm tidying up the follow-up to this book, which will be out next year. And it's, like we talked about, it's another office within the department. It's another 2 offices within the department.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited. I'm really happy with where we are. I feel like we had to untangle a lot of knots, but we're getting there. And Now Back to You comes out in February, which is soon. It's the follow-up to First Time Caller. It's about two competing meteorologists who get stuck in a snowstorm together. Very tropey. I feel like I just like had a field day with the tropes on this one. One bed, stuck in a snowstorm, glasses.
I love a rambly meteorologist. You know, like he just like starts to ramble, and that's
He's
so
He's a
cute.
nervous talker for sure. Yeah, writing those scenes with him where he just nervous rambles. I'm like Googling weird weather phenomena in the middle of like Midwest America. He talks at length about corn sweat in this book. So you're welcome, Idaho, for that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is
You'll
that?
learn.
Okay. Now I want to know. Okay, BK, can you tell us a secret? Any secret?
I immediately wanted to reveal my husband's laundry situation.
Okay.
But Allie Hazelwood, the other day, I was in my kitchen and my phone just started buzzing like 8 to 10 to 14 times. And I swiped it open and it was just Allie's eyes.
Okay.
Very close to the screen. And she was at like the shopping center like 15 minutes away from my house, and I had no idea she was going to be there. I don't think she realized that I live so close there, but they had made a window display for Good Spirits, and Allie was delighted by the window display. And I would love the CCTV footage of Allie Hazelwood in front of it, because I had about 15 photos of Allie posing next to Nolan, posing next to Harriet, and she texted, she was like, "You can use these on social media," and I was like, "Thank you, Allie Hazelwood."
I love
And
this.
I'm so excited to see those on social
Yep.
media
Yeah,
when you're
look
gonna
for-
post right now.
Look for that drop.
If not, I'm not gonna read Cast of Ashton.
Oh, true. Yeah.
She's just an angel. And
she is. She's the best person in the world,
Yeah.
and she writes devastatingly romantic books, and it's annoying. I hate that about her.
And also like so fast too.
Very quickly. It's annoying.
Does
'cause
she sleep? Like,
I don't know.
No,
she's
she
always
just goes
traveling.
to bookstores.
Yeah, she's literally on the street outside my house taking pictures of herself and also writing mate. Like, it's annoying.
at the same
Stop.
time,
Yeah.
somehow she's got like one hand on her phone taking photos, the other's
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
writing.
Yeah,
like, she's
typing
I finished a
somehow.
book. Next time you're gonna receive photos outside your house in a window and be like, "I'm outside."
She's like, post these on
Open up. You can
Instagram.
use it on social.
I'd love that.
So to close up, we've been talking a lot about romance, but I want to know, what does romance mean to you?
I was like, I love romance.
That's a great answer.
I love that it's a genre that is largely created by women, for women, and centers women. I think in all the media that exists and that we consume, it's one of the few pieces of content that's for us. And I love that it's hopeful. There's always a happy ending, always a happily ever after. And I think that's something that is desperately needed in this world. And it's just always feel good. Even the ones that devastate you, you get somewhere good in the end. And I think there's a lot of hope and promise in that.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. And you know that it's always going to be okay at the end, no matter how much we explore. That it's like, oh, I'm definitely talking to my therapist about this, but like, at least I got a happy ending. So
Yeah, we got there in the end. We all know where we're going to end up, but it's about getting there.
Yeah.
No, literally with this one, I'm like, I got a happy ending and also content to talk about in therapy. Harriet is me. So BK, if anyone is looking to find you online, what's the best place they can go?
Instagram's the best place.
Okay.
My handle's, I think, the same across all platforms, author BK Borison, but I'm definitely trolling Instagram more than any other platform, for sure.
Yeah. All right. It was wonderful talking to you. We're now going to kidnap your laptop and we're just going to take the second book out of it.
No.
Yeah. Next time, be ready. We're gonna have your Tumblr handle.
Nope. Oh gosh, no. I will find the exit hatch. I will climb through the ceiling.
It's okay.
Okay, it'll
We're
be our
weird
little
here.
secret.
Like,
Yeah.
we're all accepted. I don't think you have
Is there
read
an
weird
exit
stuff.
that way?
Yeah, there
I'll
is.
go that way. I'll roll out.
Don't worry, we're all weird in this house.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on The Book Was Hotter.
Thank you for having me, guys.
It was wonderful. Okay.
Love you. Bye.